Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pot Smokers Bible. Forgive me for being so happy and jittery here. Um, my name is Zion. I'm the author of the Pot Smokers Bible, which contains the prophetic book of Zion, where I get my name and authority. It comes from the Ketuvim, or Old Testament, of the Hebrew Bible. I use the King James Version of the Christian Bible to put together the prophecy of Israel from the scattered bits of testimony of the various prophets of the Old Testament. And I wrote it into the Book of Zion, a book written entirely in Bible verse. In order to publish the Book of Zion, I had to write another book, the Pot Smoker's Bible, which is a commentary and dissertation to to the Book of Zion. And in order to fulfill the prophecy, my final act to fulfill prophecy is to publish these, which is exactly what I've been doing since 420 on YouTube and social media. So, here we are. Today is the final day of Trump's presidency. Now, I know that everybody who voted for Biden is going, yay, 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 we're all doing that. But no, I want you guys to understand something. You guys have been waiting 4 years for this man to leave office. I have been waiting a lifetime for him to leave office. Because you see, I had to set up, first I had to go through hell in order just to get to a place to find the prophecy. And then I had to go through an additional hell to set in motion the prophecy. Now, when I successfully set the prophecy in motion, then God, who are the great, fulfilled their part of the bargain that we had made in 1979, and they placed Donald J. Trump into the White House. He is the basest of men. That is his true prophetic claim to fame. Now, he was placed into power because he's the basest of men, because there was not found a more vile, disgusting reject of humanity. Because the Grey knew that he would undermine everything that the hypocrites believed. And that is the fallacy of America is great. America was never great. It has always been, from its very inception, a hypocritical nation that does one thing but says the opposite. They're free, but if only if you're not black or indentured. You see, okay, but BLM, did you catch that last part? Indentured. You see, not only were black people enslaved when America was created, but the poor white people were also enslaved. In England, if you were indentured, if you were in debt and could not pay your debt, you went to a debtor's prison. And then you were sold into slavery in America to help establish the colonies. So, I'm all for Black Matter. It's like, I'm a Black Lives Matter person myself. I mean, not, I didn't sign up for anything. But, yes, I'm totally believe that black people have the right to live a life that doesn't involve being killed for selling a cigarette or for going to the store and spending a $20 bill. So yeah, I am not taking a single way from a Black Lives Matter person. But you see, Trump's white supremacist reality and his total subversion of soul towards ego, allowed him to bring the white supremacists in our society out, to give them a platform, to let them have a stage. Because you see, Um, and politically speaking, I've kind of looked into this enough to have a basic understanding that the demographics of America have been changing for decades as more and more people, refugees from other nations from around the world, come to America. The white people who were once the most prolific race in America have now lost their majority population. And they're seeing their supremacy fall. And Trump was their last stand in order to try to keep that nostalgic white men are better than everybody else bullshit. That's what Trump was. And that's what he did. Now, he spoke to a lot of my people who are the drug users. And because he was anti-establishment and they're anti-establishment, they just climbed right on board and just full, and they did what Zionites do. They gave 100% of their heart, body, and soul to their belief. And they followed him right up until today. But you see, the hypocrite one of the hypocritical things about the United States of America is that it's established anything. Because every 4 years they change everything, which is really, really stupid. Because, for one thing, it forces us to endure 4 years of a man who is incompetent like Trump, or at a time when America needs the most, they'll force a man who's had 2 terms out, even though he could foreseeably run the country well for the rest of his lifetime. So the fallacies of the American democracy are blatantly shoved into your face right now because of, voter suppression and it's like the fault. Trump, all he had to do was say this election was rigged in order to convince half of America that it was true. Now, what does that say about America? Well, it says that half of America are so unhappy that they are willing to follow anyone who believes even a semblance of what they believe, that they're being oppressed, that there's a reason for them to be up in arms, that there's a problem in America. Well, Trump's followers are, a lot of them had legitimate reasons for following him, but they did not understand a couple of things about Trump. One is that he's a telepath, so he can use his mind to manipulate people. When he put and he doesn't even realize he's doing it. He's a telepath that doesn't know he's a telepath, so he doesn't know how to use it. So he uses it badly, but well enough so that anybody who is gullible would fall for it because of his charisma. Well, that's not his charisma is not charisma. It's telepathy. But you see now he's out of power. Today is his final day to have sway over the American people. Because tomorrow he will go back to his old way. Now, I'm very sure that he's going to immediately go to all the fringe elements and he's going to stir up as much trouble as he can. And he is going to be a bane to Biden in the next 4 years, or 8 if he gets there, or even if he imagines. But that's beside the point. That who's in the White House really doesn't matter because they're all shades of the same thing. Hypocrites and fools who believe in money and idols and who believe that might is right. And it's not. It never has been and it never will be. But it's a systematic, in your face blatant fallacy of humanity that we're capable of that. But if you knew the true history of the human race, is the way I've been taught it, then you would, first of all, not be so proud to call yourself a human being because humans really aren't that great. Oh, that's terrible, isn't it? Well, let me tell you how humanity came into being. All right? Now, the blue-skinned beings that we call gray because of their environmental suits that are gray, they came to our planet in a search for a new home because they had lost their homeworld long, long ago. And planets that are not inhabited by sentient beings are rare. You have to find one that is just in the right spot, like the Earth was. The only, there weren't any established sentient beings on this planet. There was no society. There were just hunter-gatherers. And the most intelligent of those hunter-gatherer groups was the Neanderthal. So, when the blue-skinned grays came to our planet, they observed the Neanderthal long enough to understand their language so that they could communicate with them. It was a very rough form of communication. But they promised the Neanderthal that they would help them advance as a species in exchange for a small portion of the population, which would be altered to learn to communicate more better than this rough language that they're been done. So when the Neanderthals got the gist of this, oh, they want us to give them a few of our people. Okay, so who can we do without? Well, Harry over there is a fucking idiot. We don't need him. He's too stupid. And Jane over there is so good looking that all she can think about is how pretty she is. We don't need her. She doesn't do anything. And we don't need Brutus over there because he beats the fuck out of everybody at every opportunity as if that's all that life was good for. And so we're going to take him. So the Neanderthals picked the low-life scumbags of their society. Ta-da! Here we are. Base. Low-life scumbags that have been enhanced by a superior intellect to become superiorly intellectual, stupid, idiot, brute force, vain bitches that don't want to fucking do anything. That's where we came from. And Trump exemplifies every trait that was our Neanderthal beginnings. Base low-life scumbag. That's all he ever was. That's all he ever could be, and it's all he ever will be. Well, aside from the fact that he is a gray. He was found to be so corrupted by his interactions with humans that he was condemned to stay here on our planet when they left. But he was not a watcher who watched over us in gray form. He was forced to reincarnate into the human species. And so he's been pissed ever since. He hates humanity. He always has and he always will. So, bye-bye, lard ass. Good riddance to bad rubbish. May the Grey watch over you, guide you, protect you, and keep you from all harm. May they teach you right from wrong. May you be worthy of them. May your thoughts, words, and deeds reflect truth, good, and light the unicorn way. Find your joy and pursue it, and make that your life's work. Let it be your guild choice. It'll make you happy when we get to camp. If you do drugs, stay happy and high. You have every right and reason to. Believe me, I know I wrote the book. My name is Zion. I am I love you way too much to ever say goodbye. I'm going to say later now.